Welcome again, everyone. This is Emonews, and we are on the tour with the cabinet, the government of Dominica, on the construction site of the international airport. Earlier on, we showed you the runway, we showed you the tunnel, and now we are at the terminal building. Ahead of me, you can see that it is already taking shape. This is where you'll be coming in to do your arrivals and your departures. So get the suitcases, get those carry-ons, get those bags, and plan your trip. Come 20, 27, 28, 29, 20, 30, 2035, 2050 to land right here at the international airport. So we are moving along as they tour. There will be 2 floors, upstairs and downstairs. 2 stories, one for arrival, one for departure. Let us move along. So a lot of work is going on here, a lot of work. This project is massive. This project is huge. And we can only hope and pray that, it is completed so we can, see the benefit of this airport to Dominica. Yeah. Yeah, we swinging around, yeah. For lighting too. What's nice?
Sorry.
Can you handle one more, Fian? Can you handle one more? Thank you.
Let me hold. It's okay. Let me hold. Sorry. Okay. Where's someone? Sorry, PM. Let me just test this mic, please. Just test the mic. Where's Grant? Grant? Yeah.
We get a bit of a
Welcome,
feedback.
Paul.
Let's get a bit of a feedback.
All right. All set? Are we live? Are we live? Ah, see. All right. Thank you. Well, let me say thank you to the media for being present, and I appreciate your. We appreciate. Is this on? I appreciate your presence here. Of course, I want to recognize all my colleagues over here and the CEO and the staff from the Airport Development Company, sorry. And of course, our friends from MMC, the developers, and CR5, the contractors. We're here on a official site visit to the International Airport project. Obviously, we can all see what's taking place, the kind of dramatic transformation that has taken place over the last couple of years. I mean, we all appreciate how difficult this site has been. The dramatic cotton field, earth movement, it has really been a real undertaking, considering our natural terrain. But we're all pleased with the progress thus far. The runway is basically settling. After this rainy season in 2026, they'll be ready to apply the surface, concrete and asphalt surfacing to the runway. The the um, the tunnel is under construction, and I understand it will be completed by August, October of this year. The tunnel will connect Wesley to Woodfordale, of course, to Portsmouth, as we have challenges in creating easier connectivity from Wesley across to Woodfordale. So the tunnel will enhance that communication, and so we're moving on ahead of this. All of the on-site buildings are under construction. The terminal building, the FBO as a private VIP for private aircrafts, the fire service, customs, the all of the necessary um, facilities under construction. My understanding from the schedule and from what the developers are saying to us, by um, November of this year, we will see a completion of all of the structures, and of course, internal works will commence immediately thereafter. We're looking at a completion last quarter of 2027 for the airport. This is barring any unforeseen challenges, and we pray to God there will be none. This will be a major achievement, even to the point that we have gotten to thus far is a major achievement for the country. And one can only appreciate the kind of positive transformation that this airport will bring to Dominica. Just with the direct flights from Newark, New Jersey, and of course Miami, and with Contour Airlines and Caribbean Airlines, who have been facilitating improved air access to Dominica, we have seen an increase in stayover visitors in Dominica. And so this airport is going to be crucial to our continued efforts towards growing the economy, bringing more foreign exchange to the country, creating jobs for people, creating opportunities for farmers and taxi operators and um, and those who own car rental companies. And so if we can improve air access in terms of direct access to source markets, then we can appreciate this. This is a project, as you all know, that has been very elusive. It has evaded all previous governments. Every government, both pre and post our independence, has made the international airport a central theme in the offering to the people of Dominica. We had the challenge of not only seeking to build this airport, but also introduce night landing in Dominica. Because prior to me becoming Prime Minister, no plane could land in Dominica at night. There was no night landing. And we spent a significant amount of money on upgrading what you call now the Douglas Chelsea Airport, basically building a new terminal building, a new runway, extending the runway, and all of the associated facilities, a new fire service station, and all of the associated um, um, buildings and facilities that will need to be constructed. And just to say to people, Dominican people, after Erica, and this is how we have to put things in context, especially when people talk about this hasn't been done and this should be done, and etc. After Erica, we spent $200 million to repair Douglas Charles because of the sheer damage that Erica caused to the airport. $200 million. After having built the airport was functioning. A natural disaster caused this to us. One can appreciate what you could do. What you could do with $20 million, farmer for $200 million. We could solve a number of problems in Dominica with $200 million. That was to fix Douglas Charles after Erica. And so we always had the intention to build this airport. And we have always said to Dominicans that no bank in the world, except maybe a Chinese bank based on bilateral relations, but no international financial institution, not the World Bank, not the Caribbean Development Bank, no bank in the world is going to give Dominica money to build an airport. They're not going to do it. As St. Vincent got no money from the CDB, they got no money from the World Bank to do the airport because they don't believe that they will be able to finance such a development project. And the question is, how do we finance an airport? Not being able to access a loan from any international financial institution of which you're members. And the only route you could go is a route by grants from a friendly government. And in our case, we decided to use the Citizens by Investment Program as a source of funding for this airport. And so without the Citizens by Investment Program, we would not have been able to finance the airport. That is point blank. Because you cannot borrow and you cannot tax people Dominica beyond what they can give to the government. So how do you finance it? And this is a challenge which previous governments have had. The cost of building an airport in this terrain is a tremendous cost. But we always remain committed to building this airport, and I'm happy that this Dominican Labour Party administration was able to define a strategy and a plan going forward for not only the construction of the airport, but crucially the financing of the airport. By the grace of God, when this airport is completed, current generations and succeeding generations of political leadership in the country and our citizens of the country will not be burdened with any loan repayment for this airport. But we will benefit from it dramatically and positively in the years to come. And so we have to start positioning ourselves as citizens to see what are the opportunities this airport will bring so that we can prepare ourselves for it. Do not wait for when it is completed and then we're trying to scramble to put things in place insofar as private citizens are concerned. This has been a huge impact on the economy during construction, and certainly it will be even more dramatic after completion. We say so with the greatest sense of humility. We are pleased that we were able to lead the process as we've done in many other areas. I have had, in many instances, ready to build this country from scratch, from road infrastructure to health, through education, investments in agriculture, the creation of the small business unit to provide grants to young entrepreneurs or through loans at the aid bank at concessionary rates, housing, not only building homes but even replacing homes after so many natural disasters. When I became Prime Minister, I had to oversee the structural adjustment program of the IMF from 2004 to 2006. Then we had a stop in 2007. We had another stop in 2010. We had one in 2013. We had one in 2015. We had one in 2017. Then COVID came. And then you had all the international financial crisis, the crash of the markets, the oil crisis. So literally my entire time as Prime Minister of this country, I've never had a break. And sometimes I ask the Lord, the Lord has challenged me like he did to Job. But I remain faithful, not only to the Lord, but to the country, in pushing and ensuring that we can do what is right for the people of Dominica so that we can create greater hope and confidence in ourselves, in our country, and our own contribution to Dominica. So we've never had a resting moment. We've had a lot of external shocks, natural disasters having to confront with. But every turn, the people of Dominica could know that they could go to bed, that they have the Labour Party in government, the leadership of the Labour Party in government, and that tomorrow will be better than our yesterday. And we thank God for that. And that's what we continue to offer. And this is where it is. There are many efforts have been made to derail the project, to stop it. A lot have been said and written. A lot of it is false. A lot of it is mischief. But we're pressing on. We can't be distracted of the country by negativity. We have a job to do. We have people's lives to mold. We have opportunities to create for so many people. And this is what we're seeking to do. So I am very happy to be here. I want to thank MMC for partnering with us, for staying true to the partnership and the relationship, and to CR5 and all of the supporting staff from the Office of the Prime Minister, where the project is being executed from. I will not call them because there's so many people who played a part in the ministry, the folks on the Ministry of Lands, the folks on the Ministry of Agriculture, all of the various government departments, Ministry of Finance, the entire government system playing a part in different ways towards the realization of this very important project. What is left to the government's responsibility is to build the airport. It is left for the citizens of Dominica to take advantage of the opportunities, to position themselves. So you cannot say what's Kerry doing for us. It's Kerry doing the airport for us. Now, what are the opportunities and the benefits of the airport? And so we have to position ourselves to take advantage of those opportunities. I can tell you, the number of foreign nationals who have shown interest in acquiring lands. I mean, there's a joint venture with us in a company, and somebody offered to buy over 100 acres of land from in this area. We've had to hold it back because there's some lands I believe should stay with the people of Dominica. But people are scouting, people are offering, people are looking to buy, all foreign nationals. Can we not put ourselves together in groups, in companies, and make an approach to the government to start putting the Airbnbs and the guest houses there for stayover people, etc. for airport staff and for airline staff, and there are a number of things that we believe we can position ourselves going forward. But this airport is going to touch the length and breadth of Dominica. Whether you're from Scottshead, where we rely on fishing, or in the valley, where we rely on tourism, or in Capuchin, where we rely on a mixture of tourism and agriculture, or in the Canlago territory, where we need people to come in to buy our craft, or the farmers in Marigot who were planting yams and dashing and who are rearing chickens and goats and so forth. Every single sector, every single sector of the economy is going to benefit directly from this airport. And so we will only see the benefit if we are positive and constructive. So I'm very excited to see that it is really taking shape. And it is, and I know as human beings we subscribe more to the doctrine of St. Thomas. Seeing is believing. Though the Bible tells us we must live by hope, but people rely on doctrine of St. Thomas. But I only see that, boy. I don't want to show scared talking about the airport. You know, boy, you may see that thing there, boy. But now I believe that the majority of Dominicans recognize that whenever Skerrit promises something, that he delivers by the grace of God, and this is something we're going to deliver to people of Dominica. So we look forward to landing directly here in the next couple of years, and we can only look to the mountains and to the skies for opportunities. So thank you again. I'm not sure if the press has any direct questions for me. Otherwise, I'll pass on to somebody else. You saw Douglas Charles, my suggestion to the young people, who are involved in biking and car racing and all kinds of alternative sports, I think there's an opportunity for you to take over it. And you can put rooms in there so the people coming to be part of that, they could sleep there. You can have restaurants there. There are a number of things I believe that can be done. So I've said so to the young people, put yourself together, and it doesn't mean because we are an engineer, only thing we have to do is engineering. It doesn't mean because we are a lawyer, only thing we have to do is go for the courts. You know what I'm saying? We can put ourselves together and get some money. You don't have to build the building, it's already. All you have to bring is the management skills and your talent and make money. Because that's what you want to do, make money. That's what the government will do. The government wants people to make money. Yeah, money with capital letters. And let people be able to build themselves. Yes, ma'am. What measures are you taking to ensure transparency and control during this construction, and how is the government ensuring that environmental standards are being met? Yeah, the issue of transparency, there is, in terms of our country, you take a thing to the parliament. This is part of the parliamentary submission. It is part of the estimates in the House. We give regular updates on the airport. You're here as a media, you're able to ask questions, able to see and report and let people see what's happening. There are many consultations that have taken place over the life of the project, even before the project started. So this is part of the transparency, is by subjecting yourself to questions, subjecting yourself to inquiries, and that's what we're doing as part of the site visit and the numerous engagement that we had. On the issue of environmental safeguards, from me, from an ideological and philosophical standpoint, as a human being, I believe in the environment. I believe in the preservation and the protection of the environment. And I don't want to talk about it. I engage myself in environmental practices, whether it's farming practices or whatever it is, to mitigate, to limit the impact on the environment. So I understand from a personal standpoint. From a government standpoint, there's nobody can fault this government and who can say this government has not shown regard for the environment. Um, you know, you name it, regionally, nationally, internationally, we have been at the vanguard of the protection of the environment and speaking in defense of Mother Earth. So we understand this. Now, anything you do, my dear, anything you do, whether it's a home you're building, a road you're building, a school you're building, you're going to have an impact on the environment. And this is why the very nature of it's called environmental impact assessment, to assess the impact of this project on the environment. But in that report, they will identify the impact, but they also tell you what you can do to mitigate against the impact. So if you look at this, for example, we've had to excavate and so forth, but we plant in vetiver, which is part of the recommendation for slope stabilization and to restore some of the ecosystems that would have been affected. And you will see that um, taking place as you go along. So there'll always be an impact and so forth. And for you to have development, you have to get things going. If you have an egg and you want to make an omelette, you must crack the egg. You must break it. You understand what I'm saying? If you boil it, it's not an omelette. You understand? So you have to, and even after you boil it, or let's say you want to eat the shells, you know. But seriously though, I mean, we take note of the concept of some people raise. There's some who are genuine and there's some who are malicious. You understand? Um, because if you say you're an environmentalist or you're a development planner, you must acknowledge that there'll be an impact on the environment. But always saying to those who are raising concerns, send me a document that you have done and say, well, these are my observations on the impact, and these are my suggestions, government, that I believe that you can put in place to mitigate against the impact on the environment. And this is where I believe that if you're doing that, then this is where I believe that you're genuine, you're serious, and you are sincere. If all you're doing is using your intelligence and to misguide people and to say things that are not true, you understand what I'm saying? And to say, well, I'm not involved in politics, give me a break. You understand what I'm saying? So we are open to any suggestion as to what we can do to mitigate against the environmental impact. Whatever it is, please send us a document. I'm begging. Send it to me. And I give you the assurance I will meet with you face to face or by Zoom if you're out to Dominica, and we can go for it together to see what are some of the recommendations you're making towards mitigating against the impact. But the airport has to go on. The airport must be built, and the airport will go on. You know, but we are mindful of the impact, and we're prepared to do whatever is necessary to mitigate against that impact. Yes, ma'am. The Bush project, as you can see, there has been dramatic um, work being done insofar as putting in place the mitigation measures as recommended by the environmental impact assessment. So if you go there inside, and I believe it's important to take you inside at some point as a media, so you can see the number of things that have been done. All of them are recommendations from experts, from professionals in the field, what you can do to mitigate against the impact. If you compare the Daybon site now to what it was 3 weeks ago, there's been a dramatic change of the thing. You don't see mud on the road anymore. You don't see mud rolling down from the road from the site. All of those measures have been taken in place because the reality is, my dear, that there are measures you can put in place to mitigate against the impact. You understand? To reduce the impact, to lessen the impact. And all of those measures are being put in place. But the reality is, the site is important. Do you know, in the 80s, when Centra did the road from Hatton Garden to Portsmouth, they used that site for stones, you know. And before that, 916, I believe that site was also used for quarrying for another project. And if you realize, and this is why the experts are saying that the rocks there are crucial because it has a particular um, 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 density and strength that we required for building some of the structures and so forth in order for us to benefit from it. And looking at the road from Harton Garden, if you realize back in the 80s, Michel's brought three companies, Rush and Tompkin, Nelote, and Central to do free roads in Dominica. And the road that lasted the longest was the one done by Central. And we believe that that is directly linked to the quality of the aggregates that were used from Debosh as on the surface of the road. That's why the road lasted longer than any other road that was built at the same time in the 80s and so forth. So let us make it happen. Let us make it happen. If you have a suggestion or idea, fine. Send it to me. A recommendation from an expert that you brought in or yourself. That's what we can do to mitigate against it. But we have to take the rocks. The rocks belong to us. The Lord gave us the rocks to build homes, to build infrastructure, to create opportunities for people. We can't say import the rocks from Canada when we have the rocks right here in Dominica. And then we're gonna take the money that's supposed to stay in Dominica and send it to Canada. Canada have all their money. We need money in Dominica. And that's what we told. If the money is there, why not make use of it? Why is it okay for us to export standard aggregate to other countries, which we're doing, and not use it for ourselves? And people who say, go to the West Coast. The West Coast quarries have affected the marine life. We've done a number of studies on that, and there were measures that were put in place to mitigate against that. So wherever you go in Dominica, there's going to be an impact. And so, and Debosh, basically, because we only go to Debosh because of the quality of the stone. If we could get it here inside, that'd be great. If we get it somewhere else closer, that'd be great. But that's where we have identified, based on independent evaluations, our own evaluation. That's where we have to go. But we heard the airport is going on. We can see it. I've been told by November you will see all of this scaffolding removed, and you will see the buildings taking shape and work starting in there. And the last quarter of 2027, by the grace of God, we will receive the keys to the airport, and we will see from there opportunities flowing. Yes, sir. With respect to the issue of spin-offs in the project, could you talk a little bit about employment and so on? Has that number increased as we go along? Yeah. Yeah, for example, now with the construction of these buildings, you require a lot more people, to aid in the construction. So as you go along, you keep increasing employment. I mean, they're still looking for people to be employed. So that's when you can't get people locally. So you will need more people to work on this site to do a number of different things. So persons who still have an interest in working, you can get to the site office and make the application. So they people employed. But also, the people in Western Woodford Islands are benefiting from this. Rental of properties, um, food and beverage, other services like laundry services. There are a number of benefits there during the construction phase of this project in the vicinity of Kalibishi, Woodford, Maricot, and so forth. Indirectly, and we can spend a whole day talking about all of the direct benefits of this airport to Dominican people. Every single sphere of the society, every single sector of the economy, every person who was doing something in Dominica will benefit from this international airport. And this is very human resource. We started that. We started doing that. We put a team together to identify all the skill set we'll need. There'll be some people who will be sent out to study in very soon to get some further advanced training, so that they can be prepared for that. But we have identified some people who will be certainly serving as a core required here to run this airport. You're gonna need a significant number of people to run this airport. Yeah. Yeah, we settled the majority of property owners. Those that have not been settled are either new acquisitions or persons who have not settled their legal ownership of the land. There's some lands that have complications. Was a father died, did not leave a will. He had 7 children. They may not be agreeing among themselves and so forth. So you have those issues there. So once those families settle their issues and so forth, then we'll move towards payment. But we have paid about 85% of those who we owe on this side there. And I want to thank them though, because they've all been very gracious. They've all been very respectful. They've all been understanding, by and large. And I think I can say, based on what they say to me, that they all have, in other words, they break the government hand. They're doing the negotiations. Yeah, they as we say, local parlance. They did very well. And when you go to if you go to Joburton and you see kind of homes that people build there, very nice home. I think some of them homes they got on the internet, they design. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Online. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. This on the second point, the law makes provision for that. That if you're carrying material, you have to cover the 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 truck, the material. So there's a law for that. I think it left the police to enforce the law. So the law is very clear on this. The other point on truckers, they have been heavily engaged on the transportation of cement. A significant portion of the cement they have been they have been allowed to do it. They could have done more, but the challenge you have is that all of the cement is on the port, and we have to try to get the cement out as quickly as possible because we have also cruise ships coming in there. There's dust. The staff there are complaining about the dust at the port. So we cannot leave the cement there for months anymore. We have to get it out as quickly as possible. So you need more and more trucks to take them out as quickly as possible. And this is where we are. What I'm discussing with the Truckers Association with, because as you know, a number of them have had to modify trucks to carry the cement. All right. They don't have the kind of trucks that you need. Most of them do not have the trucks in it. So we're gonna be helping them in acquiring better trucks and new trucks, so that at least some of them can have an opportunity to position themselves better for such projects going forward. Like we did in the tourism, where we facilitated a number of tour operators to buy new buses, bigger buses that the cruise lines are asking for. I mean, and so I am very happy for them, and we looking forward to working with the truckers on that, so that you can build better capacity and have better equipment and so on, trucks and so forth. Yes, we get a lot of questions today. From online, you get in the man. No, if you like match, they will be there, man. Yeah. Dominica is a safe place. Any foreign national, any Dominican can walk anywhere in Dominica without any fear of his life or his safety or his property. Dominica is the safest place in the whole wide world. Safest place. Is hospitable. We have everything to offer, from a hot bath in the springs to a cold bath in the rivers, to a bath in the beaches of Dominica, to hiking 145 147 kilometers of hiking, longest hiking trail in the world. So it's a very safe place. We have very nice hotels, fresh food. The food comes from the sea, the fish comes from the sea, and in half an hour you have it in the plate. You understand? You frost and defrost and so forth. It's a safe place. We're going for some challenges. We'll overcome those challenges. Dominica is a resilient country. It's a resilient nation. We're not new to challenges. We're not immune to challenges. But we're always resilient people. What we need now in Dominica is for Dominicans to stand by Dominica. Stand by Dominica. And this is what some people are not doing. As if, well, when Dominica is going through a difficulty, people are celebrating. But guess what? We all live here though. When the sun is hot, it all burns us. When it's rainfall, it all wets us. And so we're all gonna benefit from this airport. Those who say that they do not want it to never come, they'll be first to use it. You understand? Which is good. It's gonna benefit every single person. And so we have to stand. There's some things where we have to wrap the national flag. We have to wrap the national flag with ourselves the national flag, recognizing that this is about Dominica. It's not about the government or the prime minister. It's about the country. Okay? Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Someone will explain to you. But the terminal building, that's the FBO. That's the tower. Then you have the cargo, and then you have the fire station all the way around. So they explain to you, and of course the square footage of all these buildings and so forth. So that's some technical information that they'll give to you. But I'll pass on to the the Minister for Tourism, And I will ask um, Carl from MC and also Mr. Johnson, the airport manager, CEO of the airport development committee, and of course the power rep for Wesley, to say a few words and so on.
Can you put it on? Hold. Just hold it. I'm really happy to be here and to see the progress on the International Airport project. This site represents the most transformational project in our modern history. And so I really want to thank God for the bold leadership that we have in Roosevelt Skerrit and his forward thinking to start this project even after we experienced the most devastating hurricane in our history, which was Hurricane Maria. And just to put things in context, I was reviewing our statistics for the year ending December 31st, 2025. And we have experienced 18% increase in stayover arrivals. And in the month of December alone, for the first time over 5 years, we have seen an increase of 20% in stayover arrivals. So I am satisfied that people are coming to Dominica. The awareness of Dominica is growing because of the investments of this government, because of the increase in airlift, and ecotourism is trending. So we have something magnificent everybody in the world wants to experience. We have the second largest boarding lake in the world. We are building the longest detachable cable car in the world. And as PM mentioned, we have the longest hiking trail in the world. And even by sea, you can hike Dominica. So, and don't even speak about our underwater haven. So, for me, and I was speaking to the CEO of DASPA recently, and he said to me, upon completion of this airport, we are looking at an estimated increase in employment of about 200 personnel. So this is the opportunities the Prime Minister has been talking about. We have to figure out what our skill sets today and the skill sets we require to operate the airport. So we'll need maintenance workers, we'll need air traffic controllers, and as we speak, we have identified about 20 people we have to send on training, and I think training has begun this year for about three air traffic controllers, and we'll need about 17 more. So if you're interested in being an air traffic controller, you can apply to DASPER. We'll need more electricians, engineers, maintenance workers, immigration officers. And so the opportunities are vast for every day. Africa, it's going to double, triple the number of visitors coming to the country, creating increased consumption. So farmers should be thinking of them, but it was a challenge. So even currently, we're experiencing challenges in feeding people. So there is another opportunity to open more restaurants. And so the opportunities that this international airport presents for our people is vast and wide. And what we have to do, as the Prime Minister said, is to position ourselves to reap the benefits that this airport is going to create for our people. And we don't have to wait when the airport opens in 2027. We should start presenting our business plans to financial institutions. This government has been forward thinking, as I said. We have placed credit at the um, aid bank to assist small business owners, and we will continue to do so. We have concessions at Invest Dominica that if you're making an investment, you qualify for concessions. And also, if you're a small business, you can contact the small business unit for support to prepare your business plans and for training as well, how to manage a business. So, what I'm really pleased about is that everywhere we travel, there are positive remarks about our country. And on all the international coverage we're receiving from Dominica, the accolades is pleasing to me because this has never happened before. But because of the investments of this government, the extension of the runway, the increase in airlift, the direct flights from the United States, we are seeing a lot of exposure. We are receiving a lot of accolades. Just this year alone, we have received about, I would say, over 15 accolades encouraging people that Dominica should be on your bucket list. Dominica is the best destination in the Caribbean. It has the most natural wonders. So I know there's a lot of talk, and you always have challenges when you're doing something new, and especially this expansive project. But we have a prime minister that always delivers on his word and always acts in the best interest of our country. There is no time recorded in history when the prime minister says, I'm going to do something, he hasn't done it, and it hasn't proven to be beneficial to the people of Dominica. So let us ease our fears. We will get over the current challenges we have, but let us continue to positively market our destination, promote Dominica as the best place to live, the best place to have a vacation, and let money start circulating in our economy. And so that is what this project presents for Dominica, and I'm really excited about it, and I just cannot wait to see an Airbus 350 land on the site.
Good morning, everyone. Let me welcome each one of you to Wesley today, and I look forward to having you again soon. Let me, on behalf of the government of Dominica, express a heartfelt thanks to the homeowners, the landowners, and the farmers who gave up their lands in Wesley to make this project possible. And I think not just the government, but the country owes them a debt of gratitude for making this sacrifice for Dominica. I think the Wesley people are the real patriots of Dominica because this project happened with very little to no interruptions. And the homeowners, let me just say for the record again, that the homeowners, all of them, were compensated fairly. As we heard PM say, in some respects, broke the government hand. And also the farmers were compensated for persons, even with your residential home, if you had a coconut tree on your land, you got compensated for that. So in terms of compensation and treatment of the Wesley people, I can say as a parliamentary representative, I am very much satisfied in the way that the government treated them, and I ensure that they were treated properly as the parliamentary representative. In terms of employment, while under construction, we have a number of persons who are employed here on site. We have from the security officers to the drivers to the laborers to the young ladies who cook in the kitchen. So there are a number of persons from the constituency who are employed here on this project. If you passed through Wesley earlier today and you would have noticed one or two young men on the block, that is because they work the night shift. But in terms of employment, the large part of the constituency is employed. As we have said before, if you want to work, there is work in the country. So a large part of the constituency in terms of our young men, our young women are employed, not just here on this project, but across different entities within the constituency. In terms of small business, we have an increase in terms of the number of renters who are already within the constituency. We have at least 5 renters within the constituency, and over the last 5 or 6 months, we have seen them increasing and upgrading their fleet, so that's important to note. We also have about 5 or 6 Airbnbs were added to the recently, so we have a total of about 12. So we have a significant increase in terms of small businesses. In terms of our food establishment, we still require a few more, so persons who are interested, that's an area that I'm encouraging persons who have a culinary skills to get into, because we do not have enough food in any day to feed the visitors in the Wesley constituency. So I'm urging constituents who have that skill to get into food. So in terms of moving forward, I'd like to just urge my constituents to prepare themselves because we are already benefiting and we continue to benefit. In terms of interruptions, we have a few potholes, we have a little dust now and then, but we are mitigating against these circumstances. So I want to again thank the Wesley people for their understanding, thank them for their patience during construction, and again we look forward to bigger and better things once this project is complete. Thank you. Johnson.
Okay, hello, good. Sure. So first of all, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to the airport site. Some familiar faces. So where we're standing right now is actually on at one end of the terminal, which most people identify with airports. So you can see from this point all the way to the end, you get a good feel for the expanse and size of the terminal. As it is right now, we are about a little over 15,000 square meters in size. The area where we're standing presently is actually the drop-off area for your VIP ministerial government officials, which will have a separate area, as they have in Douglas Charles, but with this airport, it will be much, much bigger. So if you are visiting dignitaries, heads of state, they'll all come from this end. And then right behind me would be your security area, separate security area for them going up to the executive lounge. If you were to go section by section, the area right over here is going to be your baggage carousel. So when you arrive and your luggage is being taken off the aircraft, your baggage carousel and customs is going to be in this end of the terminal. And in the center will be duty-free shops for arriving and departing passengers, as well as immigration and your arrival hall. And then all the way to the far end, where you're seeing the building as 2 stories, is going to be your check-in area, where you're going for the airlines. And we're looking at having what is referred to as common use terminals. Common use terminals gives you the flexibility of multiple airlines using the same counters. Yeah. And we've also included about 10 kiosks, because those of you who travel regularly, you see increasingly people do their check-in on their phone, right? Actually, right now in Douglas Charles, I think United currently allows you to operate with a boarding pass, electronic boarding pass that's on your phone. So we have made allowance for those features in the terminal. Okay, so that is just in this area here. Right behind us, as was I think alluded to earlier on, is the FBO, which is fixed base operator, used for private aviation, right? So they would have separate screening and security for private jets, and this is something that obtains in almost every major international airport across the world. So it's not unique to Dominica. And you can see at any point in time at Douglas Charles, even currently, there are a couple private jets being parked and staying over, and that is going to be an increasing occurrence, especially as our tourism product expands and increases. Next to that building is a security facility for controlling access to and from the land side and air side. And then next to it would be your air traffic control tower. You can already see that where the tower is already 5 floors up, with the main base and office area at the ground floor. It's already constructed. Next to that is a space allocated for the hangar, which hasn't started as yet. And next to it would be the the cargo terminal and the air traffic and the firefighting, the air rescue and firefighting building. You'd also have in front of it the power station and water treatment, water storage area right in front of it. And because this is a greenfield project, you're pretty much putting in everything where there was nothing. Where we're standing right now, as you can see from the banks, this was all an excavated site where the mountain had to be blasted and cut to get down to this elevation. And then on the back end, where the red buildings are, that will be your parking for users of the airport. Each one of these facilities will also have parking associated with it, but there's also parking for your car rental operators, as well as passengers coming to or people sending off their guests. And one of the things that we made certain was that the parking was right across from the terminal, so it's very convenient to just walk across, park, and go. So shouldn't have a crazy congestion at the drop-off area. Some people might find it easier to go park and then just walk across. There'll be covered walkways to and from the parking facility, because you want to make sure that, again, people are incentivized to use the parking services and not have to run when it rains, right? Because there'll be covered walkways going all the way to the far end of the parking. And then one of the things that you'll probably seen all the way at the end is the road, which the access road which runs along the back. It's going to continue. We're looking at connecting it back to the Joe Button road at the back end. So we'll also have an easier access for the folks in Joe Button to connect to come down to the airport side. Yeah. So that is a pretty quick run of the land. Questions, Mr. Murad?
Hello, everybody. I would like to thank all of you for being here today, and I hope this happens again. I think Mr. Johnson said it all. There's nothing really I would like to add to what he said, but I would like to assure you of the handing over date, which is October 2027. The other issue I would like to mention here, I don't know if it was mentioned, is of the number of people working on site. In total is close to 1,100, in which 408 out of the 1,100 are Dominicans, local manpower in different sectors. Again, thank you very much for your visit. Look forward to see you again, guys. How long is the runway? The runway is 2850, 2,850 meters long, 45 meters wide, with shoulders on each side of 7.5 meters. And then you have the general areas around the runway, 120 meters on each side. Come again? Absolutely. We're 6% ahead of schedule. So hopefully we can maintain that and increase it. You know, it goes fluctuate, but so far we are 6% ahead of schedule. If you come 3 weeks from now, you'll find it done. Yes. As you know, we work 24/7, 24 hours. We work weekends, we work holidays, Saturdays, Sundays, 24 hours, 7 to 7. Any more questions?
Just a random question. We noticed that there is a opportunity for tours. Will it be like site visit tours or average person, regular person?
Of course, once it's organized, we'll take care of it. The only thing, during the past 6 months it was rainy and it's muddy and it's dangerous, so it has to be rescheduled, and we welcome any visit. Yes. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
So there you have it, the tour of the construction site of the international airport. You heard October 2027, they want to hand this project over to Dominica. There are over 1,100 local persons employed here, and the work is 6% ahead of schedule. So on behalf of Emonews, we want to say thank you for joining us here this morning. It was an interesting tour. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I'm happy to bring this coverage to you. We say thanks to everyone who spoke and made things clearer to all of us. Thank you all for viewing and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.